Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back. Shift up just a scope. There we go. Let's see, I'm here today for another shelf highlight, and I'm going to do another round of some middle grade books that I have on my shelves. And since it is middle grade March, we can celebrate some middle grade books. And I've got quite another stack here. So let's just dive right in. All right, let's get going. First up, I'm going to do a couple of sort of series that I have. And we'll start with old Lemony Snicket, right? Series of unfortunate events. I was reading these for a while. When did they first come out? What year was that? 1999. I was kind of reading these back then, but I don't think I ever finished them, and I don't have them all. I've got book one, what is this? The Bad Beginning. I've got book two, The Reptile Room. Number three, The Wide Window. If I remember reading that one, The Miserable Meal. I'm pretty sure I read that one. Number five, The Austere Academy. I'm not sure that I read that one, so I may have stopped there. And then I don't have 6 and 7, but I have got number 8, The Hostile Hospital. I'm sure these are some thrift store pickups. This one I know is, I paid $2 for it, is number 9, The Carnivorous Carnival. Number 10, The Slippery Slope. And is there more than 10? I don't even know. I need to look up to see if I even need to keep going, or if I just need those couple that I'm missing to have the series finished. I'm not really sure, but I do have the bulk of it seems. So let's throw those down there. And let's see, I've got another kind of, I guess you'd call it a series, is the Little House series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. These are classics, Little House on the Prairie, of course, being probably the most well-known. They take place out kind of in and this, I don't think even, I feel like I'm missing one, but anyway. Anyway, yeah, most people know this family that lives out, on the prairie, trying to make do, and she kind of just writes about her life. Actually, this is, I've got The Banks of Plum Creek, Farmer Boy, who's all about Almanzo, by the shores of Silver Lake, The Long Winter, Little Town on the Prairie, These Happy Golden Years, The First 4 Years, and this one is, I'm sure, a thrift store pickup. It's not necessarily part of the series. It's a collection of never before published writings that inspired the Little House series. It's a Little House sampler collection of early stories and reminiscences from Laura Ingalls Wilder and Rose Wilder Lane. This one I don't think I've actually read, but you go back and you read these. I have reread these as an adult, and there's some problems, particularly with the portrayal of Native Americans. But it does give you a good glimpse into the life of what it was like to live back then during that time period too. So it's kind of one of those things, where you kind of have to take it for when it was written, and then read it for sort of historical things, and then just kind of know that it is a bit biased in some of its wording, right? I think it's kind of one of those books. So let's get moving on. Books are falling. I've got The Trumpet Swan by E.B. White, and I've got Stuart Little by E.B. White. I've never read either of those. I've never read either of these. And actually I need to cut these up on my Charlotte's Web. I'm not sure they got separated, but I feel like I really should have read Stuart Little by now. It's just why I didn't read as a kid, so I have Lois Lowry's Number of the Stars. Heard amazing things about this one. 1943, Life in Copenhagen. I think she's a Jewish person, right? Yeah, so this family takes in a little girl who they pretend is part of the family, but I think the girl that they take in is Jewish, so sounds hard-hitting. I've got this sort of collection of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass, of course, by Lewis Carroll. I read Alice in Wonderland here. I know. I hear you screaming at me. I know. I've got A Properly Unhaunted Place by William Alexander. I love this cover. And Rosa Diaz has a very special talent. She comes from a family of librarians who specialize in ghost appeasement. So she can't understand why her mother has moved them to Ingalls, the world's only unhaunted town. I can't imagine what's going to happen there. Sounds like a lot of fun. I have The In Between by Marina Cohen. Another just gorgeous cover. Middle grade books kill it with covers. But right down here is all I need to know about this book is when not everyone who enters the inn leaves. I mean, that's all I need to know. Sounds amazing. Here's one from Avi. I've got School of the... Is it Avi or Avi? I'm not sure I ever pronounced that name, but School of the Dead. Avi's another just prolific children's book writer. Everybody has a weird uncle. This is true. So let's see. His uncle comes to live with him. They talks about ghosts and spirits. They become good friends. I don't know. I'm not sure what all this is about, but another killer cover. Speaking of killer cover, The Strange and Deadly Portraits of Bryony Gray by E. Latimer. I love this cover. She's coming out of the painting. Bryony Gray is becoming famous as a painter in London art circles, but life isn't so grand. Her uncle keeps her locked in the attic, forcing her to paint for his rich clients. And now her paintings are taking on a life of their own, and customers are going missing under mysterious circumstances. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Sounds wonderful. Another beautiful cover is Willa of the Wood by Robert Beatty. Look at that. Look at this cover. So Willa, a young night spirit of the Great Smoky Mountains. Okay, I'm sold. Is her clan's best thief. She creeps into the homes of day folk under cover of darkness and takes what they won't miss. It's dangerous work. But Willa will do anything to win the approval of the Padawan, the charismatic leader of the Fearing people. Sounds amazing. Oh, it sounds lovely. Has anyone read that one yet? I need to read that. That sounds wonderful. I have The Apothecary. Is this, I'm not sure if I pronounce this. Is it Malloy? I mean, killing it with the covers. 1952, the Scott family has moved to London. Janie Scott feels uncertain in her new school. She meets Benjamin Burroughs, a local apothecary's curiously defiant son who dreams of becoming a spy. I'm assuming they become friends and things happen. Another gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I don't know if this is more YA or if it's I thought this might be more of a YA book. I'll mention it here because I got it on my shelf because I probably don't know where to stick it. Is Speak by Laurie Halls Anderson. I know I think a girl that gets raped and sort of the fallout of that, I'm thinking. I don't know, would she consider this middle grade or what? I don't even know, but Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I don't know. I've never read it, so I don't know the tone of it. It just looks like a lot of fun. All right. Whew. Stacks are falling. Let's see. I mean, this is a classic old book here. The Light in the Attic. Shel Silverstein. I mean, I've had this one for quite a while. Look, it's falling apart. I mean, Shel Silverstein, you know, you can't really go wrong with these super fun poems. So that one's a lot of fun. I have Circus Mirandas by Cassie Beasley. Anytime like a circus is involved, I'm usually pretty interested. It looks like this girl's grandfather is maybe reminiscing about his childhood with the circus, perhaps. It looks like the gist of it. I'm sure it's really a delight. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I know this one is a young boy who's, I can't remember if his parents die, and he's dealing with grief. I know it deals with grief in some way, so I heard it's really pretty heartbreaking. I haven't read that one yet, but I've not read it yet, so yeah. Oh, that's not really. Classic, How to Eat Fried Worms by Thomas Rockwell. Classic. This is a classic, kids. You know, a kid loses a bet and he has to eat worms. He has to eat 15 worms in 15 days. The worms are supplied by his opponent, whose motto is the bigger and juicier the better. And I think he goes about how to actually, you know, eats these worms. The Northern Lights by Howard Norman. In the frozen wilderness of northern Manitoba, 14-year-old Noah Kranick lives with his mother and cousin. With his quirky, cheerful best friend, he explores the exotic, lonely land, the domain of Cree Indians, trappers, missionaries, and fugitives from the modern world. When tragedy strikes, Noah must go on alone, discovering a new life in bustling Toronto and the way to manhood. Sounds pretty interesting for sure. One I have for my Newberry list is Worth by Ayla Faye. A horse book. Before the accident, Nathaniel's life seemed pretty good. His help around the farm made his father proud, but now with a busted leg, he can't do farm work anymore. His father adopts another son through the orphan train. Okay. Feeling replaced and useless, Nathaniel attends school for the first time. Meanwhile, the other kid, John, is able to do the work around the house, so yeah, it looks like there's more involved, but it sounds pretty lovely. Let's see. Hatching Magic by Anne Downer. It was definitely not a lottery ticket. It wasn't even made of cardboard. Theodora felt a shiver run the length of her spine. It was my last wyvern card, she said. I don't know. It looks like there's this creature here. Is this a dragon book? I don't know. Sounds pretty cool. Pretty sure it was a thrift store find. I've got Ian Fleming's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I never read this one. I've seen the movie, of course, the old Disney movie, but would like to read that someday, the source material. Charlotte Salter, Where the Woods End, another amazing cover. Oh, it's beautiful. 12-year-old lives in a seemingly endless forest, crawling with dangerous beasts. But the most dangerous of all are the grabbers, nightmarish monsters that stalk one person throughout their life, building their bodies bit by bit until they resemble their victim's greatest fear. Okay, that sounds like terrifying. Need to read that one soon. Of course, I had the one and only Ivan by Catherine Applegate, but I still haven't read this one yet, but I know it's really beloved. About these two animals that become friends. The Phantom Tower by Keir Graff. Looks like we have another sort of haunted guess this is a apartment building or hotel or something like that. Yeah, boys discover their home is full of strange quirks. There's a princess on the 17th floor who warns them not to wander the building at midday. Eerie sounds coming from the wall, and an elevator that's missing a button for the 13th floor. That sounds like a lot of fun as well. Eva Evergreen, The Semi-Magical Witch by Julia Abe. This one just sounds so fun. So Eva is determined to earn the rank of novice witch before her 13th birthday. If she doesn't, she'll lose her magic forever. For most young witches and wizards, it's a simple test. The only problem, Eva only has a pinch of magic. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I like the idea of that one. A few more, my friends, just a few more. The Star Spun Webb by Sinead O'Hart. Does one girl caught between worlds hold the key to saving them all? I don't know. Sounds like a fantasy story, perhaps. The Girl and the Ghost by Hannah Alcoff. I have read this one, actually. It's a really wonderful story about a girl and this sort of ghost that is, she kind of inherits it when her grandmother passes away. So it is just pretty cool. It's not really a ghost, it's called a pelicet, that's right. So this is steeped in sort of Middle Eastern lore. And I really liked this one a lot. I do have book one of The Land of Stories, which is The Wishing Spell. This is by Chris Colfer. This is a big series. There are several books. There are lots of books in this series. I think these kids kind of fall into actual like stories where fairy tales are real, that kind of thing. But I've heard these are great books. I just haven't started on the series, you know. And I've got Raina Telgemeier's Smile. This is a graphic novel. I think it's about this girl when she gets braces, and I'm sure other things happen, but it sounds like a fun one. So that's gonna do it for this go round. Again, let me know, which of these have you read, or should I prioritize any of these? Have you reread any of the Little House books as an adult and felt a little bit differently about them? Thanks as always for watching. I'm always so appreciative of your time, and I hope you're doing well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.